The 12th of September, 1958, 11:47 p.m. The man I trusted most in the world was standing behind me with a loaded .38, finger on the trigger, ready to blow my brains out for $50,000. His name was Samuel Foster, but I called him Big Sam, my bodyguard, my brother. The man who'd taken bullets for me, bled with me, fought wars beside me for 5 years. And it all started with a single phone call 3 weeks earlier. A call I never knew about. A call that would teach me the most painful lesson of my life. In this game, the people closest to you are the ones who can hurt you the most. That phone call came on the 20th of August, 1958, at 3:17 in the morning. Sam was leaving his apartment on 132nd Street when a black Cadillac pulled up to the curb. The window rolled down and Tony, the collector Marinetti, sat in the back seat, smiling like a life insurance salesman who just found a desperate customer. Sam, right? Big Sam. I've heard a lot about you. You are the man who took 2 bullets for Bumpy Johnson in the Amsterdam Avenue shootout. The man who carried him out when half the Genovese crew had you pinned down. Sam's hand moved toward his .45. Who is asking? A friend. Someone who wants to make you wealthy. Someone who knows about your little girl's medical situation. Tony gestured to the empty seat. 5 minutes. If you don't like what I say, you walk away. Sam should have walked away. Should have put a bullet in Tony's head right there on the street. But curiosity is dangerous, especially when you are drowning in medical bills and watching your child waste away. See, that is what the Italians knew that I didn't. Sam's 6-year-old daughter, Keisha, had been sick with tuberculosis for 8 months. The treatments were expensive, the specialists were out of reach, and the hospital bills were crushing him. Sam had come to me twice asking for help, and I had given him what I could. 2,000 the first time, another 1,000 the second. But it wasn't enough. It was never enough. And that desperation, that fear of watching your child slip away while you count pennies, that is exactly what Tony Marinetti had come to exploit. Sam got in the car. Tony didn't waste time with small talk. You are a smart man, Sam. You know how this world works. You are loyal to Bumpy, and that is admirable. But loyalty doesn't cure tuberculosis. Loyalty doesn't pay for the specialists your daughter needs. Loyalty doesn't buy the clean air and good hospitals that could save her life. Tony opened a briefcase. Inside were neat stacks of $100 bills, more money than Sam had ever seen in one place. $50,000. Enough to pay every medical bill. Enough to move your family somewhere with clean air, good hospitals, real doctors. Enough to give your little girl a real chance at life. For what? Sam asked. 1 bullet. The 12th of September, Bumpy will be at Lenox Lounge. You wait until he is distracted. 1 shot to the back of the head, then you disappear. Sam stared at the money, his daughter's life, his family's future, all for 1 trigger pull. And if I say no? Tony's smile faded. Then your daughter dies slowly in that charity ward hospital. Then you keep working for Bumpy, knowing that one day a bullet with your name on it is coming. Sam got out without saying a word, but the briefcase stayed with him. For 3 days, Sam didn't sleep. He'd sit by Keisha's bedside at Harlem Hospital, watching her struggle to breathe, listening to the wet cough that seemed to get worse every day. The doctors were polite but honest, without better treatment, without the specialists she needed, without the kind of care that only money could buy. She had maybe 6 months. 6 months to watch his little girl slowly suffocate. Sam would stare at her small face on the pillow, so pale, so thin, and think about that briefcase full of money. $50,000, a fortune. Enough to take her to Switzerland, to Denver, to wherever the air was clean and the doctors knew how to heal children like her. All for 1 bullet, 1 moment, 1 betrayal. On the 23rd of August, Sam made the call that would change everything. I am in, he told Tony, but I want half the money up front. Done. Welcome to the winning side. What Sam didn't know was that I'd been in this game for 25 years. You don't survive that long by trusting people. You survive by knowing people, by understanding that every man has a price, every man has a weakness, and every man can be pushed to a breaking point. I had eyes everywhere. Shoe shine boys, cab drivers, janitors, parking attendants. People nobody noticed. People the Italian mob never thought to pay attention to. And one of those people, a parking attendant named Jerome, who worked the night shift on 132nd Street, had seen Tony's Cadillac, had watched Sam get in, had written down the license plate number because that is what I paid him to do. 2 hours later, Jerome was in my office above Small's Paradise. Tony Marinetti's car, Jerome said. Parked outside Big Sam's place. Sam got in, stayed for 5 minutes. I looked at the paper, then handed Jerome $500. You didn't see anything, understand? After Jerome left, I sat thinking. Sam had been with me for 5 years. We'd been through wars together. But now the Italians were in his ear, and desperate men make bad choices. I could have killed Sam right then. That is what most men would have done. Eliminate the threat. But Sam wasn't just any employee. He was family. Had been at my mother's funeral, had carried my father's coffin. So instead of killing him, I decided to teach him. I called Dr. Marcus Williams at the hospital. Dr. Sam Foster's daughter. I want the best care money can buy. Transfer her to Presbyterian, whatever it costs. Mr. Johnson, that could be $20,000. Then it is $20,000. And doctor, don't tell Sam it was me. Let him think it is charity. 2 days later, Keisha Foster was moved to Columbia Presbyterian Hospital. The best tuberculosis specialists in New York, all paid for by me, the man Sam was planning to kill. But I didn't tell him. I wanted to see what he would choose, money or loyalty. The 12th of September, 1958, Friday night. Lenox Lounge was packed with 300 people. Jazz musicians, numbers runners, politicians, working folks celebrating the end of another hard week. The air was thick with cigarette smoke, and the sound of Duke Ellington's Take 5 drifting from the speakers. I was at my usual table in the back corner, negotiating a deal with 2 city councilmen about a housing project in Sugar Hill. Sam was with me as always, standing to my left, eyes scanning the crowd, hand resting casually near his weapon. The perfect bodyguard. Alert, professional, deadly when he needed to be. Except tonight, he was the threat. I'd known this moment was coming for 3 weeks. Had known that Sam was struggling with his choice, wrestling with his conscience. Had watched him grow quieter, more distant, more haunted. Had seen the weight of his decision eating at him like a cancer, hollowing out his eyes, stealing his smile. He'd been carrying that burden alone, thinking he was protecting me from the truth, when really, I'd been protecting him from mine. At 11:45, Sam's hand moved to his jacket. I felt him step closer, felt the shift in the air behind me, felt the cold barrel of his .38 press against the base of my skull. 300 people in that room, laughing, drinking, living their lives, and nobody saw it coming, except me. Do it, I said quietly, not turning around, not flinching. Sam's hand was shaking. I could feel the tremor traveling through the gun barrel, through his uncertainty, through his breaking heart. I am sorry, he whispered, his voice cracking. God, Bumpy, I am sorry, my daughter. She is dying. I can't watch her die. I know about your daughter, and I know about the money. Question is, what are you going to choose? Sam's finger found the trigger. Any second now, 20. 5 years of building an empire would end with a bullet from my best friend's gun. Instead, I heard the most beautiful sound in the world. Click. Nothing else, just that single, hollow click that made 300 people freeze. Sam pulled the trigger again. Click again. Click. I turned around slowly. Sam was staring at his gun, face pale, sweat beading on his forehead. Sit down, Sam. He collapsed into the chair across from me. How? He whispered. I reached into my jacket and pulled out his real gun, the one I'd had switched out 3 days ago while Sam was visiting his daughter at the hospital, the one that worked perfectly. You think I didn't know? I asked. My voice calm, but my eyes hard as steel. You think I don't have people watching everyone who gets close to me? You think I survived this long by being stupid or lucky? I set Sam's real gun on the table next to the useless decoy. I knew about Tony's approach 2 hours after it happened. Knew about the briefcase. The 50,000, the whole setup. I could have killed you that same night, Sam. Could have had you disappear into the East River before you even made your choice. I leaned forward, my voice dropping to barely above a whisper, but I didn't because I wanted to see what kind of man you really were, because I needed to know if 5 years of brotherhood meant anything when the stakes got real. Because sometimes you have to let a man walk to the edge before you know if he'll jump or step back. Sam's eyes filled with tears, his hands shaking as he stared at the two guns. My daughter is going to be fine, I said. Best doctors in New York, private room, all the treatment she needs, paid for forever. Sam looked at me like I'd grown a second head. I've been paying her medical bills since the day after Tony made you his offer. Your daughter's not dying, Sam. She is getting better. The truth hit Sam like a physical blow. He doubled over, sobbing from relief, but also from shame. He'd been ready to kill the one man who'd actually saved his daughter's life. I stood up, walked to the front of the room. Listen up, I called out. What you just saw was a lesson about loyalty, about what happens when outside forces try to divide us. I pointed at Sam. This man tried to kill me tonight, not because he wanted to, because he was desperate, because men who don't understand Harlem thought they could buy what I've built. I walked back, placed Sam's real gun on the table next to the fake one. But you can't break loyalty by offering money. You can only test it. And when someone chooses to do the right thing even when it costs them everything, that is when you know you have something real. I looked at Sam. You have a choice. Walk out and never come back, or stay. Keep being the man I know you are. Sam wiped his eyes, stood slowly. I choose loyalty. I choose family. I choose you. The room erupted in applause. But I wasn't done. The men who tried to buy Sam's loyalty are going to learn something tonight. They're going to learn what happens when you mess with Harlem's family. Tony Marinetti's body was found floating in the East River 2 days later. Because 300 people had witnessed an attempt to corrupt one of their own, and Harlem doesn't forget. Sam Foster worked for me for another 10 years. His daughter recovered completely, became a doctor, spent her life treating kids in Harlem. The lesson: loyalty isn't something you buy, it is something you build, one act of faith at a time. One decision to trust that the people who care about you will take care of what you care about most. That phone call on the 20th of August was meant to destroy me. Instead, it taught me something invaluable. The people closest to you aren't just your greatest weakness. When they choose to stay loyal, they become your greatest strength. The difference between a king and a street thug isn't the violence. It is the people who choose to stand with you even when they have every reason to walk away. And sometimes, just sometimes, a single click can change everything. Can turn betrayal into loyalty, can turn weakness into strength. If this story of loyalty, temptation, and the bonds that hold families together moved you, hit that subscribe button. Drop a like if you believe that real strength comes from the people who choose to stand with you. What price would it take to make you betray family?